My 2020 Beta 300 doesn't have that nice crispy sound like it used to. I think it's due for some new exhaust packing. Now, I once repacked an exhaust pipe, and I made it worse. I thought it would sound better, and it was going to be quieter. No, I did it wrong, and it sounded like it was straight pipe. But that was a long time ago, before I knew anything. Before I start taking apart my tailpipe, let's talk about what exhaust packing does. So you've got your dirt bike, and in the most basic explanation, your bike generates power via an explosion above the piston. As the piston moves down, the sound and exhaust from the engine is directed out the exhaust pipe. At the end of the exhaust pipe is your tailpipe, and inside this, there's a core which is wrapped with exhaust packing. The core has a bunch of holes in it, and as the high pressure waves, the sound waves from the engine travel through, it has room to expand into the exhaust packing, which muffles the sound. Now you can imagine if your exhaust packing is really tightly packed, it's not going to absorb the sound very well, and it's going to be very loud. Now, the reason why over time your bike will actually get louder and won't sound as good is because the exhaust packing starts to get saturated with oil, or sometimes things get into your tailpipe. That sounds weird, but mud and things can make your exhaust packing less effective over time. So it's good to replace your packing once in a while. So I found a fairly local company here in New York called Bristol Core that makes exhaust packing. They're even artists, too. Look at that. Isn't that sweet? So they have repack kits that are already pre-made for your bike. Now, since I'm on a newer beta, Bristol Core wasn't quite sure if their current kit would fit the newer betas. So they sent me the kit right there, but they also sent me their regular packing material in case the kit doesn't work. And so the regular packing material can be used to manually repack your exhaust if you wish to do it that way. All right, well, let's get to work. First thing we got to do is take the exhaust pipe off. And don't mind all the scratches. You might be asking yourself, why don't you just get a new exhaust pipe? Yeah, that would make sense. But we're going to learn how to repack it. Raise your hand below in the comments if you do your bike work in a Hawaiian shirt. Gotta take this plastic piece off. And so on the betas, the exhaust is held together with rivets. So I started drilling, and that wasn't quite working, so this led to grinding. Then I realized, wait a second, why don't I get a punch and punch out the rivets? So drilling, then punching them out worked. Grinding was overkill, not necessary. So now it's time to pull it apart. I was pulling, that wasn't working, so I started hitting it with a hammer like this. This was not a good idea. So then I put the support onto the table and started tapping the tip, and that started to break it loose. Got the core out. Notice all the holes in the core. As a result of my expertise, I hammered the tip into the middle of the pipe. That wasn't good. So I pulled the exhaust packing out. It was bad. All oily and nasty. Popped the tip out with a broom handle. And we're good to go. Took some measurements for reference. The packing material might be a little bit longer than the core itself. Might be a few inches longer. But that's okay. It'll compact in. And so the kit has this cardboard tube in the middle of it to keep the packing material at bay. You're supposed to be able to slide it onto the core, over the core, and then slip the tube out. However, the beta has a curve at the end, so it didn't quite work. But I was able to just slide it on like that, and the cardboard tube just kind of stayed in place. And I slid the packing over the core, like a shish kebab. And just like that, the packing material is installed. Pretty simple. That was very easy. I remember when I repacked it manually myself that one time, it was a disaster. I think it was like the FMF fiber stuff I was using, and I don't know what I did. It was bad. But then it's just a matter of reassembling your pipe. And actually, I was thinking about it. You probably don't have to take the exhaust tip off. You could just slide the whole thing out. and leave the tip riveted in place. I think. I mean, I don't see why not. And then it's just riveting it back together. So I took the bike out for a test ride, and it sounded a lot better. I don't know what it is. It's a smoother feel. It's like, it's not that crunchiness that makes you feel bad. Like, you feel better with your bike when it sounds good. You just feel better. Rather than a raspy, clapped out sounding sound. Oh yeah, it's smooth. It feels smoother. Oh yeah, yeah, that's a lot better. That's a lot better. So I hope this video served some purpose here. You learned something from it. I want to thank Bristol Core. They helped me with this process, and if anyone's in need of repacking their exhaust, reach out to Bristol Core. They will help you out. So thank you guys. Hope you enjoyed this. Be sure to like, hit the subscribe button, and we'll see you on the next episode. Thank you.